We're back with Through the Woods podcast. We're back with episode 3.
Welcome,
I'm Markeisha,
Michelle.
and Sakina, she is not here because she's under the weather.
Get well soon.
Get well soon. No, just playing. So today we're going to start off with our questions that people had from episode 2, with me talking about my story of my upbringing, or my life, whether. So, we're gonna start. We're gonna let my niece start off with the questions, and then I'll go ahead and answer.
So, was it hard still trying to love Rainy? I was gonna say your mom, but I don't know. When she took your child away.
Okay, so the question was, I wonder if they heard you. So my niece just asked if it was hard for me to love my mother when she took my son away from me. Yeah, it was super hard. It was, I didn't. Like, it was like a strong, I hate to use that word, but hate. It was like a hate. I hate to use that word, but that's what it was, because I felt like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you doing this to me? So yeah, that was a super hard thing to do. I didn't love her, to be honest. I didn't, and I know it's like probably like a horrible thing to say, but she did so much to me that, it turned into hate. Like, I probably did. I still, with everything that I did, every accomplishment I tried to accomplish, so she can be like, good, but she never gave me that. Like, everything, she never gave me that. But it was, I'm not gonna say it was hard, because I didn't love her. It was like a hate. It was like, I really don't like this lady, because it's like she's doing everything to try to
hate her.
Yeah, it's like doing everything to try to hurt me. And what did I do to you? Like, what did I do to you? Me in particular. Now, what did my daddy do to you? What did I do to you? So
You think sometimes that it seemed like because she was angry with our fathers that she took that mess out on us?
yes, I feel like that was the main reason why she was like that. But I also felt like, because I've never been the type where you can make me feel like you feel. If I feel like you feel, then I feel like you feel. But I always had my own mind. I've always been headstrong. I used to get whoopings all the time for not going with the status quo. But I had my own vision of my daddy. She had hers. I did not let her, because when I was around him, he was this type of person. So I never allowed her to sway my thoughts of him, because when he came and picked me up, if he's such a bad person, I'm like, if this is such a bad person, why you keep letting him come pick me up?
Right.
Why are you allowing me to live with this person?
Right.
If he's such a bad person? Why are you trying to make me feel like you feel? I didn't go through whatever you went through with him.
Right.
So why are you trying to make me feel like you feel? I'm not going to do that. And I'll take whatever whooping that you're going to give me, because when I go with this man, he's fixing me these big breakfasts that I will forever remember, and forever in my life. Made me the big breakfasts. He worked a lot, but when he came home, like, even before that, he'll leave a bunch of money for me to go. And I know I was too young. I think I was like 10 going to the store. Mm-hmm. I was like 10 years old going to the store to get grocery.
Is that when y'all moved?
When we were in Colorado, yeah. We moved to Colorado with my daddy. And me and my other 2 siblings. And he would leave money, because he used to leave before we woke up, and then by the time it's like super late, we probably weren't asleep though, but he'd get home late. But he leave money for me to go buy lunch meat, bread, stuff like that.
Something we weren't used to.
Something that I was not used to. I was not used to that. So you cannot make me think how you think about this person because they're not showing me what you're telling me. So,
And
yeah.
she did raise some show me Texas people.
Yeah, you gotta.
Show me before you.
Yeah, I can't. You can't.
You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, you can't. I've never been the type of person where you can be like, oh, well, such and such. I'm like, well, shoot. Just like when she used to try to tell me, oh, such and such said something about you. And I was like, well, okay, well, tell that person to come here and then let them tell me that. 'Cause that's
She means us because she used to have us.
not even you. Not even you. Not even you. With friends too. Not even you, because she used to do that with us too, yes. But she used to do it with friends too. Oh, such and such said. I said, well then have such and such to come over here, and then let her say it to me. If we can't do that, then I don't care what she said. So, yeah.
You know, I feel like your mom was a hateful or spiteful person.
Yeah, I feel like my mama was a very hateful person and very spiteful as well. And I feel like maybe that's the reason why she took my child from me. Oh, you don't feel like how I feel about your daddy? Oh, I'm about to make, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something to hurt you, because nothing she did hurt me. It was like, yeah, you can whoop me, but they got old. Like it was like, you know, after somebody doing something to you, it's kind of like a battered woman when you're getting beat by your husband so much. Then it's just like, it's like a regular thing. So it's like, what you think?
For me, I'm honestly not even sure. I don't even know sometimes if it was just that she couldn't differentiate between her sadness and the impact of sadness that she was bringing. I just think, honestly, I think she was miserable. I think she was so miserable inside of herself that she didn't have anywhere to put it. Like, she didn't have anybody to give it to, and she didn't have any, like, her venom she was only able to throw her venom on her kids.
Yeah, because it had, but why, because I was thinking about that as well, because like she was that hateful, but why was it only directed towards us? Because other people kids, she was so sweet and nice and good to. So I wonder why it was like directed toward us. Is it because did we stop your life? Like, did we? I don't think we stopped her life, because she was doing what she wanted to do. But I'm just saying, like, what was it about us that made you be so hateful toward us? Because
I think that's something we gonna have to take to the places, the recesses of our brain, because even if she was here, I don't even think she would have answered that question.
oh no, she never was gonna answer no question. That's just what it is. She's not gonna answer no question. So you might as well not
Like,
even
you're
try.
stuck in a hard place. Like, you're stuck.
Yes,
Like,
I
the person that you need to tell you these things, you're like basically stuck. So you end up with the same questions that we have right now, which I personally, when I was younger, I in my mind, I just knew, I was like, this lady hates my guts. I don't know what I did or at what point in time as a child that I did something to her that made her okay with hating me to this level. But it was, for me, I think that I turned it into, what did I do? I didn't turn it into, this is your fault because you're the adult in the situation. I turned it into a self thing.
Like usual. Like usual. That will be your thing. Like, what did I do? That will be the question to ask, because that's exactly what I was like. What did I do to her for her to just hate me this much? She would tell me that I was effing my daddy and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what? Are you serious?
She could be boo.
What?
She knew how to say some ugly shit.
I'm like, I was so young. I'm like, what? What? I think I was like 10 or 11 when she told me that. No, I wasn't 10, because I was in Colorado when I was 10. When I came back to Texas, she was like, I don't know why you like that. You effing your daddy. I'm like, what mother asked their child, are they having sex with their daddy?
Ours.
Ooh. That was the hardest. That was one of the hardest things I had to hear my mama say to me. Like,
And you just stuck. Like trauma sticks to you. It's like you're stuck where you don't want to be, where you're trying to fight to get out of, and it's just it's heavy.
you can ask the next question. You can ask the next question.
It's okay. We gonna be fine. We already fine. She made us the most resilient people on this planet.
Yeah, but that hurt my feelings.
I know. Oh, trust me, I know.
So, how do you feel your relationship with Brittany affected your relationship with each other,
Ooh.
as well as then your relationship? Well, let's just say each other first. As each other, all of your siblings.
So my niece, I don't know if you guys heard my niece ask the question that my niece asked, but she asked, how did our relationship with our mother affect the relationship with each other? My mama had us three. Well, she had all of us, not the boys, because I don't really remember the boys in the household really.
Not really. Marcus was gone early, and Mike, he was typically
At Mama's house. Yeah, he was in Mama's house. She used to have us like at each other. Like she used to enjoy Michelle and Keena fighting all the time, like physically fighting.
She would tell us to physically fight each other. Like it wouldn't even have to be anything happening, or like it was like almost for entertainment.
Yeah,
That she would say,
like the Romans.
yeah, like we would have to physically attack each other like animals, like we was vicious animals.
Kind of like slave, you know, when they used to do like with the slaves and have the slaves fighting each other and they just sit there watching. It was like that. But she would also have us, like the three of us, at each other. I don't know if because she saw what we were trying to.
It was that because we got to the point of we were so tired of being in a combative situation that we tried to create a soft space, a place for us to land that was soft between us. And we started doing, like, we would talk to each other, which communication was not something that was
Taught.
encouraged. Encouraged, taught, none of the above. And so we started, I think she saw that we started getting closer and seeing that the things that she was saying, that this, like she'll say I said something negative about Markeisha, or Markeisha said something negative about me, or Keena said something. It was like, I want y'all to stay in this constant combative situation, so the only person that can have any kind of communication with
Is her.
you is me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted to stay at the focus in the center, but when she saw that we was starting to have any kind of relationship, she decided to do mean things. Like, she would say just ugly stuff that you wouldn't think that a mother would encourage between her daughters. And that's the best I can explain.
Yeah, I know she had Keena, I think it was Keena, feeling like or saying that I thought I was better than everybody. because Keena was around her a lot. She was going over there a lot, but she would do that. Like, I think I'm better. I'm like, where did that come from? Where did I feel like I'm better than everybody come from? I didn't understand that, but yeah, that her our relationship with her messed up our relationship, and is the reason why we be having little tiffs too, because she didn't allow us to form a sisterhood. We had to do that on our own, and when children have to do it themselves, then it's gonna be like a little turmoil as well, because an adult, the facilitator, did didn't facilitate properly.
Facilitation with facilitating.
The facilitating with facilitating.
No facilitating.
Yeah, so it messed up our relationship, because she would keep us at odds by saying she said this, she said that. I didn't ever believe what she said, because I knew what she was doing. I would see her.
I
know, yeah,
what she said, because
I did.
I know I will walk in the house if Markeisha's there. I wouldn't say anything to her. I wouldn't.
And I was like, I didn't even talk to my mama like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even talk to her like that.
Then me and Keena, it will be me and Keena. It'll be me and Markeisha. Then it'll be me, Markeisha, and Keena. It had to be some kind of conflict or animosity. If it wasn't animosity, you was not in the right household. She'll put a note on her door. If there's no, I'm just kidding.
That's funny, because she always had notes. She always had notes.
That said some of the straight
Craziest.
And a follow up on that is, how do you feel like it affected your relationship with y'all kids? Like,
You want to answer that first? Because mine probably going to be longer than yours.
I feel like the effect that it had on my relationship with my children, I feel like initially I was just as mean as my mom. I feel like I was abusive to my children. They could not get away with anything, like zero, zilch, nada. And that included, if the house wasn't clean when I made it home from work, everybody's gonna line up and take it. If I
Is this when they got older?
Yeah, when I felt, to me, when a child is between the age or up to 4, like after 4, I would spank them. I didn't whoop them. I would spank them after 4. But when they were old enough, like school age, oh yeah, they was getting a whooping. Oh, you getting a whooping? Because my understanding was the only way that you can make your child do what you want your child to do, and make them do what you want them to do, is to hit them. There was
Learn behavior.
Yeah, there was no talk to your child. There was no listen to your child. There was none of that. You are here because I brought you here, and whatever I do to you is what you take. That's what it was. That's what I understood it to be.
So with me, I feel like my relationship with my mom affected me with my children, because I had a talk with my children probably sometime last year, and I got back that I'm emotionally unavailable. But they were saying that I wasn't. They said that's not the right word. It's you are not affectionate. So that's how it interrupted my relationship with my kids, because I'm not affectionate to anybody. Not anybody that I'm in a relationship with. Nothing. I'm just not. It's just like, because I didn't have that. So sometimes you'll, like with my siblings, like with my sisters now, I know she just told y'all how she was at first, but like they love on their children. They always hugging their kids. That's how it made them do. It made them go that way. It made them, change. But it made me like I don't hug my kids. So now, since my children told me that, when I think about it, because to be honest, it's been all this time So when I think about it, I intentionally like, okay, let me give my kids a hug because they're saying that this is how I am. Let me be intentional. Let me give them a hug. Hey, let me, oh, they in their room. Let me go to get up and go, you know. So I have tried to do that, but I'm gonna be honest and say that's not like a often thing either because like after so long of doing something a certain way, then it's kind of hard to. But I do. When I think about it, then I, you know, but that's what it did. It made me not be affectionate with anyone. And I know my niece told me that she didn't. My niece told me she thought I didn't like her, or I didn't like them. And that's probably why because I'm just not an affectionate person. I know Sakina, she is because you know they switched it like we grew up this way, let me switch it. Them two did that, I did the exact way, the same way, no huggy, no, you know, I mean I try to do it now, but you know. What's the next question? What's the next question?
A little bit of kind of a background. So we know growing up that Diamond called Granny Mama, and you know you're his mom. So was it hard for you to hear him call Granny Mom?
So because he was little, and I know he didn't understand, it wasn't hard for me to hear him call her because that's who he was with. So any baby, even if it's a somebody that just comes to somebody's house all the time, and if it's a male, the baby is gonna start calling the person daddy, regardless of what, because they always around. So I felt like that's what it was. I was like, okay, well, he just saying it because this is who he lives with. They probably told him to call her, you know. So I can't, you know, feel a way about that because they probably said you have to call her mama, or everybody else in the house is calling her mama. That's how I took it. Everybody else was calling her mama, so naturally he's gonna call her mama because everybody else is saying it. They not saying granny. Because wasn't nobody in there that was the grandkid but him. So I didn't get upset about, or it wasn't hard for me to hear that then. But hearing him now as an adult, it does bother me. So, and why? Because because I'm like, okay, now you know. So, you know, but I can only be fair because she raised him, but it still bothers me. So, yeah, it's hard now, but not then because he was a baby. He ain't know no better.
So, sorry, just make it a little.
No, it's fine. I don't care about deep.
Okay. So, how old were you when you had Joe?
Joe, I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 20 when I had Joe. I don't know why I be asking her because she don't know nobody age.
Sorry, I was like, what? When you
She is ridiculous. Okay, she don't care about nobody's age.
I care, I just can't remember.
You look, you're a person. That's it. That's all I know.
You're a person, you matter. I celebrate you with your birthday. Don't ask me how old you are. Don't ask me nothing.
Okay, so when you had Joe, you was grown.
20.
Right. So was there any reason why you didn't, I don't know, probably, I don't know how else to word it, but fight harder to have Diamond with you because he was already grown? Or did you feel like he was already established in the household that he was, so it was...
For Diamond?
Yeah.
So, 20 is still, like, you still a child, especially, you know what I'm saying? So, but the reason why I didn't fight harder is the same reason before. I didn't want to get my mama in trouble. And that's what it was going to take for her to get in trouble for me to get my son. That's how I saw it the whole time. But when I was like, okay, I don't care no more, then that's when I was like, okay, I'm about to, you know. But I mean, I tried a couple times to get him, but, you know, stuff happened and she always got him back. But to, like, fight, like, go to court and stuff like that, yeah, I didn't want to do that because I didn't want her to get in trouble because that's what I felt like. I thought that she was gonna get in trouble, and I didn't want to get her in trouble because I had other siblings that needed her.
Isn't it weird how we didn't want to never get her in trouble? I was like, how is that? Like, what kind of brain function is it that the person that causes you the most harm is the person that you will die to protect? Isn't that weird?
It's a mental thing, but yeah. I mean, I could have, but with that the mindset that I was at, I didn't want to get my mama in trouble. That's it. My friend asked me that too. She was just like, "Why you don't just call the police?" And you know, I did it before I left. I went back to Denver when I was 18. I went back to Colorado. My daddy drove down here and came to pick me up because he came to pick me up. He came back to pick me up and took me back because I was done with. I think I was done with school. I think I did ATI career training. So he came and picked me up, and I tried to get him then, and I did call the police then, because at that point, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna have to do it this way because, you know, I'm trying to take my baby with me to Colorado. But they didn't do anything. I think that's probably the reason why at 20 that I didn't make it, because they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. They just said, y'all gonna have to go to family court. It was like nobody made a big deal out of me saying she take my baby away from me. So police didn't. So it was just like, cause I called police for me to get my son before I called them to bring, not for them to, cause I told him, I was like, I don't want her to get arrested. I just want you to like allow me to get my son out of there. It's my son. She don't have any paperwork saying that, you know, that I signed him over or nothing like that. I just want you to, could you just come with me to get my child out of the household? I don't want to get her in trouble. And the person in the office, where she lived at, in the leasing office, they called my mama and told her she didn't answer the door. Because the leasing lady called my mama and told her, hey, your daughter up here trying to get, because the police officer was in there. And I went in there because, you know, I was like, here's my chance. But nobody, it seemed like, okay, nobody is like making a big deal out of it. So, you know, ain't nothing I can do about it. I couldn't do nothing about it when I was younger, so I can't do nothing about it now.
The last question is, when you sat down and talked to Donovan, was it hard to try and change his mind about the situation and how it happened?
So it wasn't hard. Well, first of all, I didn't try to change Diamond's mind about like how he felt, because he had at this point 14 years of feeling away. So I didn't try to change his mind. All I tried to do was just tell my side, because he only heard one side. And so I just tried to, tell him my side. I never tried to change his mind about anything. And he never gave me thought that he like was mad at me or anything like that. So I like change his mind, like for what? But I did talk to him and tell him, hey, this is my side. This is what happened. You know, I tried to even, you know, and then I brought up some stuff where he know for sure that, oh, I made this attempt, but, you know, this happened. He knew about that, but I never tried to change his mind. I don't never try to change nobody's mind, because I don't like nobody trying to change mine. Yeah, I ain't never tried to change his mind, but I do want him to hear, if you hear a story about me, I want you to hear mine as well, my side as well, because 9 times out of 10, whoever it is that's telling you a story about me, they don't know me like that, but they're telling you this because they have issue with me. So let me tell you my side. So that, I think that's all of their questions. So we're gonna try to work on opening up or disabling the comment section. So if you guys have any questions that you want to ask me, then I can answer them on the podcast. on the next episode, because I'm gonna start trying to have the little section, sessions where we just are answering questions from what you guys give. But also, when we get comfortable doing this, because we ain't comfortable yet.
Not yet.
When we get comfortable doing this, we're gonna start doing lives so that we can see live questions where you guys can start answering. But
Well, when we go live, I'm not gonna be there.
yeah, you are. You gonna be there.
I'm kidding.
You gonna be there. But I wanna, because I feel like 2 episodes were about me, or 1.5. So I would like my sister to tell, because her story is way more interesting
No,
than
it's
mine
not.
is. Yes, it is. Her story is way more interesting than mine. Mine is like super. Mine is like will make you cry. And I haven't even told my whole story, but I would like to. I don't want to be the only one, talking. I'm like, dang, well, we ain't heard her story, so I want her to start her story off right now.
I feel like I'm mostly the way that I am because I had to do a lot of fending for myself. Like I had to become a big girl right around about, I'd say about 7 or 8 years old. And the only way that I can start that is from how I remember it. It's not in chronological order. It's in the
You don't have to be.
of
It's your story, so you tell it how you want to tell it. You don't have to be chronological. We ain't writing no book right now.
I need to though, because my son's
We gonna write a book. We gonna write a book, but we ain't writing no book right now. Just tell your story how it is. They don't know your story,
I
so
think
they can be like, no, it happened like. So
I don't know. I was told to be very fearful of comments, but I
fuck
don't
the
know. I
comments.
think that I can start from like about 7 or 8 when I first started realizing, or when I first understood that it was me and that's it. Nobody was gonna rescue me. Nobody was going to nothing. Like figure that shit out by yourself and deal. So okay, this is crap, but
it's okay.
when I learned this, I was about like 8 maybe, and where we lived, it was like a real hard part of town. It was a hard part of town. So I just remember always having to go to the store a lot. And I didn't really, at my age, know how to cross the street. So I was going to the store to cross the street, or I was going across the street. It was me and my brother, my older brother. And I was trying to hurry up because I was already cooking. And since I had to hurry up, I ran into the street and I got hit by a car. And the only thing I could think in my head after getting hit was, I don't know, I just remember getting up off the ground and running back home because I thought I was going to get a whooping. Because it took too long to go to the store to finish cooking.
Was Mama at home?
She was there. That's why I knew I was going to get in trouble. So I ran back home and I lost the money. But I didn't want to tell her that I had got hit by a car. So I couldn't explain why I lost the money. So my brother came home afterwards, and he told my mama I got hit by a car. So she assumed that I did something wrong. So I got in trouble anyway. So that's what I was used to, or that's what I became accustomed to. Like, I got hit by a car, but I was too afraid to wait for help. So I went home and didn't explain what happened. And because I knew what would happen, I knew that there was going to be a consequence for not coming back in enough time, if that makes sense. And that's just how it was for me as just a kid. And I don't remember having the opportunity to play very much because I had responsibilities that, like, I had responsibilities of an adult, and sometimes I would have the responsibility of all of my siblings and people's children that would just come. So it was like a lot. So I became hard. Like, I started to become a hard person inside. So nothing could affect me, or what was affecting me on the outside couldn't control what was happening on the inside, if that makes sense. And when I started to understand that it was just me out by myself, because I thought that my daddy would save me. And then one day she was like, or she called me upstairs, and she was like, "Oh yeah, your daddy did." And I was like, and she was like, "Oh yeah, your daddy did. He got beat to death. Go feed them dinner." And I think she did it that way because she knew that for me, because I didn't see him and because he was never the monster in my story, that she knew that he was like my superhero. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna come save me from the monster that I live with. He was gonna come save me from the monsters that she invited into our house. He was gonna come save me. And then she said that. And then the fun really started, I guess you could say. Because after that, I didn't have in my mind what I thought was any protection. I know protection is physical, but for me, it was a mental protection, because I always thought that through the whoopings and the Cinderella story I was living, that my daddy was gonna come save me. But then when I found out that he wasn't, then there was nobody else to go to. So I just tried to become accustomed to being whatever it is to make you not get hit. So whatever you can do to not get hit. Wake up early, clean up the house. Because if the house is clean, she won't hit you for that. But then something else will happen and she'll hit you for that. And then I had to worry about her partner at the time coming into my room at night time. And when that started, I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom on you.
How old are you?
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't have a body. I was a child.
Yeah.
There was nothing about my body that should have attracted his attention. Nothing. Zero. So I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom on you. Because my hero was gone now. And he said, if you tell it, I'm gonna beat her up. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. I didn't say that to him, but in my head, I was like, she hit us too much. She's not gonna let him hit her. So after the first one, I went to go tell. It was like maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Because I'm like, she don't think that it shouldn't take this long for him to go to the bathroom. And I walked towards her room, and then he was actually coming out the bathroom. And he said, tell it, and you'll see. So that made me stop, because I'm just a little kid and grown ass man. I'm looking up at him and he telling me to, it's like
Intimidation.
yeah. So I went back to my room. It was late. So next day, nobody had school, but I had to get up and cook. So I got up. They was already up, and they was fighting. Like real life, he was actually hitting her. So I understood that what he said to me was real. It was real. So I understood that I had to
Take it.
not even take it. I had to remove myself from
Your body.
from my body so I can make it through that. Right? And then it became a thing. It was like she became more mean. And I'm like, does she know?
I was
Is
just
she
about to
mad
say.
at me? And I'm like, I would like for him to not do that. And he broke my bed because I would put the bed in front of the door, so you could like hear the noise. I would think that the noise will wake her up. Like, it never did. So But that made me understand at a very early age that it's just me. And I gotta figure this shit out. Like, if you don't figure it out, that's where you are. And it just became a vicious thing. Like, everything became so harsh. And I knew that when I went home, something was gonna happen. Like, something was gonna happen. So that's how it was. Like, that's how it was. And then it was always, I had to make sure that everybody ate. I had to make sure I figured out everything. Like, I had to make sure, because there was consequences to not making sure. And when you think that your mom, I don't know, I felt like she regretted me. Like, I felt like maybe if I wasn't born, then she wouldn't be so angry. And I never saw her be so mean to everybody else. I know that everybody else thought that she was just as mean to them as she was to me, but I don't think I saw that. So that in turn made me angry with everybody. And I used to be so mean to my siblings because there was no way out. This grown ass man do whatever the fuck he want to do, and then she just beating on me for nothing. Like, who
You have
does
to take
that?
care of her kids.
So I tried to be numb, but I also tried to help them, if that makes sense. Because even though I was angry with them because they wasn't being treated like me, I still didn't want them to be treated like me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're the big sibling.
So I'm me now. I know that my childhood made me very closed, and also if I'm just closed off. You get one chance, and if you show me, I can't say it that way because
Just say it how it comes.
I don't want to say one chance because I know I don't give one chance, but it's like one thing that'll happen that makes all of the dominoes fall, if that makes sense.
One time.
Yeah, it's like different things can be happening and I won't really even acknowledge it or pay attention to it or focus in on it. But then one thing can happen and then all of my trust and everything, it goes away. Because I had to learn that that's how you have to be. Like, you have to,
You feel
yeah,
like that.
you have to protect yourself. You have to protect,
You had to protect yourself.
yeah, I had to protect myself. I had to make sure that I made it out. I had to make sure that I was going to not die in any part of that childhood. That couldn't be the end of my story. I couldn't let that be. And
How did you get out?
shoot.
You don't like the question.
I got out. I think I would say Shemaine.
You got to talk louder.
I think I would say I got out by
Your ex-husband.
meeting by meeting the father of my children.
Yeah, ex-husband. She was married to him, y'all. She wasn't just going around having little nigglets. No, I'm just playing.
I have no nigglets. I got out by not even out, honestly.
Out of the house. That was your nightmare.
It was my kind of my scapegoat.
Yeah.
I met him after all of my everything had transpired, and when I met him,
How old you then? You don't know.
I think I was 14 when we met, and we was walking home from school, and we lived in the same apartments. They had just moved in, and I thought he was cute. Honestly, I thought he was cute, and I was like, I like that cute fat boy, cause I like fat boys. And I was like, I like that cute fat boy, and he was all the grownness that you could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, he was nice, which is a strange thing to say, but that's how I met him. I met him because he was nice to me.
He was a smiling.
Yeah, he was a smile in a hellhole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was used to negativity and just fending for myself.
Right.
So he was a nice person. I thought he was nice. And I was like 14, so in my head, I was like, I had a crush. You know how 14-year-olds do. And I don't know, he'll give me like little stuff from the store, like he'll give me some candy or something, and I usually didn't have, I ain't have nothing, so, candy at that time, it was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I got some candy, and,
He thought of you.
yeah, he thought of me. I existed to him. That's what it was. Or I thought I existed to him.
You did at the time.
That's true. And since I existed to him, I felt like that was important. I'm sorry, I had to get away from my childhood because it was too many memories coming back at once. But from that point, from 14 all the way through, we were acquainted. You know what I'm saying? Like we were always acquainted. It was no point in time from the age I was 14 that we didn't have we didn't share a space. And for me to share a space with somebody that I felt like looked at me or noticed me, that became super important, or he became super important. So I feel like that's how I got out, per se. Like, not physically out, no, because I was still living with my mother, but mentally out. I
You
felt
had something
like,
else.
Yes, I had something else besides worry and fear. But I think that's what started as, for me, or to me, noticing that somebody can pay attention to me that wasn't harmful at the time. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So that's that's that was a lot. That was a lot. But I don't know. I had to step away from my childhood experience because it was becoming too vivid, and I can't. Um, I will, but just for right now, like I have to, I have to step away from it because
Too traumatic.
it's way too much to think about right now. And I'm in a really good space, so I knew that me even starting the conversation about my childhood, my youth, was going to be something that I was going to cry about because what came out of my mouth is not the only thing that I'm thinking. It's like so many memories of insanity. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I stopped in episode 2, because it was like,
Yeah, the floodgates
Yeah.
be opening and then the tears just be flowing. I'm pretty sure I sound like I need to blow my nose. I do.
but it's okay. It's okay to be able to talk about your story. It's okay to tell your story. If you just hold this stuff in, it do so much damage to your body, like your organs, like holding stuff in. That's why I don't hold stuff in. People that I actually mess with, they know my story already. So them looking at this, it's probably be some stuff that you know that they didn't know, but they know the gist of my story because I don't mind sharing my story because I'm not a harborer because I know what it does to your body. I know it make you sick, like physically sick. It affects certain parts of your certain organs in your body when you are holding in hurt, when you're holding in pain, when you're holding in anger. That really that's why people be having them strokes.
Yeah. Yep.
The reason why I stopped caring about I didn't ever care about what others knew, but what made me start expressing myself when I'm upset is because once I was so upset, I think it was with my kids that I was so upset where my head started hurting and then I couldn't see. It went black. I couldn't see at all. I couldn't see nothing. It just was just black. And I was like, okay, so since I know how anger does for me, then I'm not gonna allow it to get there anymore. That's why I don't mind. Yeah, I'm gonna cry, but I don't care. It's fine. You need to tell your story. Everybody needs to tell a story because you just holding it. If you holding it in, that's not a good thing. And then forget what other people know or think. This could be helping other people because you're not the only one that their mother's person did something to. You're not the only one. There's other girls in this world, even boys.
Yeah.
There's other children who have been sexually molested or assaulted by their mother's husband or their own daddy, and you know, you're not the only one. Just like I'm not the only one that, you know, went through what I went through.
Right.
And us telling our story will probably, you know, let other people have open dialogue with, even if their mother, if they still have their mother.
I hope they do.
We don't have ours, so this is like our way to be able to do that. We don't have ours to be able to go to and tell her, hey, this is my story. I need you to sit here and listen. I wish we were able to, but we're not. She's no longer here. But
No, she actually said she don't want to hear it. She told me that.
yeah, but I wonder if had she not gotten sick. I mean, had she not gotten as sick as she was, because I feel like when she got sick, that she was more willing to listen to stuff a little bit.
Not for me. Know what I'm saying? Like for me, I think that there was a earnest dislike in her spirit for me. I think that me not knowing if my mother loved me or not, like to this day I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like I have no clue if she ever loved me.
I don't even remember her saying it to us.
She did not.
Yeah, I don't remember her
She
saying
did
that. She
not.
never said that to us.
No loves, no hugs, no none of that. That was not a relevant thing. It was not something that she would do. But yeah, I had to stop where I stopped at because
We start visualizing.
everything that I've experienced, it caused me to at a later time in life have PTSD, and that's honest. And I actually feel like I transport back to the time that I'm speaking about because I can see it and feel it and hear it, and it's too much. And I think that me holding everything in started from wee little age. You know what I'm saying? Because there was no way that our mother was gonna sit there and listen to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she didn't let us
Whether she
express
knew or
ourselves.
not, I don't know, but I don't think that she would have listened.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is because she was sick, so she couldn't like get up and go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and when she told me she didn't want to be bothered with that,
So you left it alone.
I left it all the way alone. I respected what she said. Like it crushed me down to my shoes because I was like, "You're the only person that got answers for me, ma'am," and I really really need them because I can't make a positive decision in a relationship. That's why I think that I don't have a relationship, because I can't make a positive decision in one. I feel like I've only had trauma bonds. I've never had a real I love you relationship because it came with pain. And I'm like, I don't recall an experience ever that I couldn't separate pain from love, other than with my children. That's where I don't feel pain. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I don't try hard to form a real relationship with an adult, because I know right now that's not something that I would allow to hurt me.
So you right now, you are working off of, or you're operating off of, you're operating in a like protect myself type of thing. So you don't.
Oh wow, it's been like I've been protecting myself.
And no matter what, like no matter if somebody hasn't even shown you that, you don't have to protect yourself with them. You're just gonna do it because what you've experienced in your past.
Not necessarily, no. I feel like I put people on the outside of my wall when I feel like they've done something to be on the outside of my wall. Like I don't feel like I've excluded anyone from me loving them. And I'm gonna say from relationships that I've terminated, if that makes sense.
Okay, because I was about to.
Yeah, I know. But like I know you said with me and you, I feel
No,
like
what I was about to say is because, like, even if you don't have a conversation, so you just shut people out without even having a conversation with them first.
I feel like, honestly, I always feel like we've had a conversation
And it
we
don't be
came
it.
to an understanding, and then you broke the agreement. You know what I'm saying? like I feel.
But do
like in
you
my head,
like? Do you have a conversation with people that you like? Should do you have? Do you actually have it, or do you in your mind feel like you had that conversation already?
I feel okay. Let me say it this way. I feel like if we talk about something, right? So I'll just, as an example, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I say, okay, these are the rules, A, B, C.
Rules? Oh my god!
Not rules, you know what I'm saying? This is how me and you can get along. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like everybody has a set of rules that you have
Standards.
to follow. Yes.
Yeah, standards.
I call standards rules because shoot, this is, to me it's the same thing, because if your standard or if your deal breaker, I should have said piggyback. Okay, if your deal breaker is
Piggyback.
it's piggyback, no. If your deal breaker is you can't drink all this water out of my cup, and I sit here and I drink up all the water in your cup, and I just told you, don't drink all the water out of my cup. I feel like you heard what I said. You intentionally drank all the water out of my cup, but maybe to you, you didn't think I was serious about don't drink all the water out of my cup, or we're not gonna have a relationship anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you could have said it in a different way.
And
But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. You could have said it in a different way though. You could have said it how you really was gonna say it. She does that.
She does it quite often.
But yeah, I feel like I think that our behavior, period, like with relationships with others, with like me with relationship with guys, I'm so freaking. People be thinking like others, like outside people, like their family members and stuff like that, be thinking one way, and I be telling them like, it ain't like that. You better ask them. Because I don't allow anybody to do me like my mama did me. I'm like, so that's how I am.
And I
like,
did.
yeah,
I did.
yeah.
I definitely did. I feel like sometimes that's why I actually stopped with the whole relationship thing, because I feel like I've never picked out of a positive bowl.
I mean, because like this is the thing. When you grow up the way you grow up, the way we grew up, you're gonna make mistakes on who you choose because you never had an example of the right person. You never had an example of how to behave as a woman. You just don't have the example. So what are you pulling from? What are you pulling from? So yeah, you're gonna make some mistakes on who you choose. Not garbage can. You're gonna make mistakes about who you choose to deal with. And I mean, everybody's made mistakes on, and several mistakes on who they've chosen to deal with. But I feel like because of how we grew up, that's why you chose the way you chose, and it was like a normalcy for you. Yeah. Growing up, that was normal. So you did, like some people, like I was saying about the way with us, like how you are with your children and how I am with mine. You went this way, I went the same way.
But remember what took me to go that way?
Well, I not beating on the kids, not that part, and just being mean for no reason. I ain't do that. But
I don't think I was mean to them for no reason.
No. I'm talking about mama. I'm talking about because you went the opposite way of how mama was with your children. You went the opposite way. I went the way with her, but mine was on the affectionate part. I was not affectionate with my children.
But mine took one of my children passing away for me to get my head in the game of motherhood.
Because it was a loss. So yeah, it had to, but it took that to, but again, it goes back to how you grew up. Like maybe if that didn't happen, then maybe you probably would have
been a shitty parent. I would definitely
I don't know.
Still be a shitty parent.
But I don't know, but maybe. But me personally, that's why. I mean, I went this way. I went the same, like not exact way, but I went that part where okay, you don't have, you're not affectionate, like with anybody, but you're not affectionate with your children. And then that's how like it went with you. You know, dated guys that were, you know, abusive, or that whatever it is that, you know, that you felt was like not good about them, because that's what you saw.
Actually, I was in a abusive relationship.
But you was in it for a long time, so you
Long.
can't really, yeah, you
Lord.
can't really say, well, I was only, because that's because you was in there for a long time. You was with that person for a very, very, very long time.
Oh Lord.
So that's why you didn't experience any
Several
others.
centuries.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you didn't experience any others, because you were with that one for so long. So once you was able to get out of that one, then it was like, okay, well, that's not what I want,
Not at all.
because it was a long time that you dealt with it.
It was a very extended period of foolishness and
But
him.
because I actually saw one time, I saw my mama get hit. That was my very first time.
Who? With
I think I was.
Courtney?
No, it was Clarence.
Clarence?
Yeah, it was Clarence.
Oh,
I saw.
that's that thing off of it.
No, I was walking up. I was coming from your house. You say she stayed around the corner, from my mom, and I was coming from her house, and I'm walking, and I'm like, and I'm seeing mama head like this, and I'm seeing the dude, her dude at the time. I'm seeing him like right on side of her, and I'm getting closer, and I'm like, is this dude? I know he not. I know he not pulling her hair.
I know you ain't putting hands on her.
No. At the time, he had her hair in his hands like that, and she was like this, like that, and he actually hit her. I think I was like 14.
Right.
That's where it started with the ain't no dude gonna ever put their hands on me, because of what I saw. I walked up on, I was like, that dude ran so fast. I was like, I picked up this big piece of cement. That thing was huge.
You always
And I-
been very strong like a superhero or something. I'm like,
I picked up that thing and I threw it through his car windows to the front window.
Wow.
Because he ran and got in the car. And I was like, why are you letting him hit on you?
remember you said that for the longest, and she always said that didn't happen.
Yeah, she told me it didn't happen. She kept telling me, yeah, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. But she would say that often when I told her what I saw. You telling me that I don't see what I saw. She would do that all the time. But yeah, she would tell me that for a very long time that didn't happen. And I'm like, well, why did he jump in the car? Why did he jump in the car? Why did I pick up this big piece of cement and throw it in his car? Why did that happen if that didn't? I don't have a problem with this dude, but I do have a problem with what I'm seeing. That, and then another time when I saw another guy that she was dating hit her.
Yes.
Oh, and Joseph didn't ever hit her.
I didn't like him.
I liked him. He didn't ever hit her. Not Rodney. Fred.
That
Yeah, Fred. I saw him. My other sister, we were at her apartment, and mom went downstairs to talk to him, was talking to him, or they went somewhere and came back. And I just happened to just step outside, and they got into it. They must have got into it, and he hit her. And I was like, I think I had just had my son. And I was like, and I don't never cuss. I respect my elders. I never cuss in front of my mama. I never cuss in front of her people. I just don't cuss in front of people older than me. I didn't cuss in front of them until I was like 21, because I was like, I respect my elders. This is just a big thing for me.
I'm kind of no elder like that.
You were older than me.
I was.
And then you introduce yourself as the elder sister in episode 1. You my elder.
That would be me. That would be me.
But that day, I didn't care. I didn't care that day, because I was like, not another one. And you allowing it. I was like, oh, I think I said, why the fuck are you still down there? That's what I said. I think I said, why the fuck are you still down there? Because she was still right there after he hit her. And then she told me that didn't happen, because at that time, by me yelling, my sister, she was asleep on the couch. She woke up and she came out, and she was like, what's going on? I said, he just hit her. and that didn't happen. That didn't happen. He didn't hit me.
That didn't happen.
I'm like, Lord Jesus. Like, but that's the reason why I always made whoever I'm with feel like if you put your hands on me, you're gonna be on the 9 o'clock news.
Okay, well, I'm be on first.
And they believed it. And they believed it. Like, if you put your hands on me, you're gonna be on the 9 o'clock news because
Well, you doing chunks of cement. I can.
I hear Rodney with Eric Big Wheel.
I remember that.
Yeah, I hear him with
Yes,
Eric
I
Big Wheel
saw
because
that.
he called me out my name, and I was big on that too. You don't call me out my name. You don't put your hands on a woman in front of me. None of that kind of stuff.
Encouraged him to be disrespectful.
Yeah, he did. She did. She allowed him to be disrespectful to me. But that day I heard it. Like y'all were telling me that he was doing it all the time. I never heard him. That day I heard it because he said it to me. He called me.
was a coward.
He called me trifling, and trifling was a bad word.
He didn't even know you though.
Yeah, he called me trifling, and I was like, "Who are you talking to?"
Okay,
And I
it's just like going outside with your hair not done.
I picked up my nephew Big Will, and I hit him with it. And my mom was watching in the window the whole time.
Like this.
And then she was like, "Why did you do that?" I said, "He called me out my name." You don't call me out my name. That's just what it is. If I'm finna get in trouble because he called me out my name, then I'm just gonna get in trouble because I'm not allowing that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna allow no dude to disrespect me. I'm not gonna allow no dude to put his hands on me. Since I was 14, I was like that. I was like, it's just not gonna happen. You allow that, I'm not going to. But I hit him with that big wheel, and I'm like, and I'll do it again. I'll do it again. If you call me out my name, I'm gonna do it again. This is Through the Woods podcast. I'm Markeisha,
I'm Michelle.
and we will see you next time in episode 4.
Episode 4.